Good day everyone. So I saw this team on Reddit and it's basically Sukokomon without sucrose, so it's Nahikokomon or whatever people want to call it. It is certainly a bit of an interesting team. So when I first saw this team I had a couple of thoughts. So obviously the big thought that I had is that Sukokomon with sucrose is it's a very precise team that requires very precise execution, but once you do it right, you have that all of the cooldowns and all of the reactions and the damage just feeds in, or just they just gel like really well together. So this is the thing about Sukokomon. When you switch between the different characters and their abilities and you play Sukokomon correctly, it's almost as if every single ability just flows into each other. Like you have your Shungling burst pretty much a second before you need it, and then once you pop her Q, Kokomi's burst is almost like her burst comes online immediately when you need it. And if you build or craft the team according to the specifications, it really works well. So when you get a team like this, the big thing that I noticed is that you have a bit of trouble keeping track of cooldowns, because Sukokomon by its very sort of I don't know if you can call it particular nature in the way in which you need to execute abilities, sort of takes care of the cooldown management for you, and this is obviously what makes Nahikokomon such a brilliant team from a theoretical perspective. But when you get a team like this, you need to be aware of quite a lot of things. So when I started playing this, I did notice that you'll have problems with multi-wave fights where everyone's abilities are going off, but now there's not enough Dendro on the field. Or very often you might have Kokomi's like Hydra application being totally eaten up by Nahida and Xiangling, because Dendro and Pyro they consume the Hydra like quite a bit. So with Kokomi you definitely want to do perhaps not normal attacks, but just like a couple of charge attacks to get a more AoE Hydra together with the jellyfish on. So there are definitely some quirks to this team, but it does feel more forgiving. So even if you do miss a reaction, it's really not the end of the world. But that said, it might just be because I'm using a C6 Nahida, so there's a lot of damage there that is being taken for granted. So I'm very interested if someone that's like an F2P can sort of test out this team and sort of see if they can come to similar conclusions. But for me, it's an okay team. It's really not that bad. It's not strong. I don't think it is. Well, this is going to be difficult because I don't know what the mass is. So I'm hesitant to say. I do think that the proper or the original Sukokomon might actually have a higher damage cap, and that's just because with Sucrose swirling you might just be able to do much more with the reactions. But gut feel, it's not a bad alternative for people that are more, that want to play more imprecisely and that just want to have a bit more fun with a team like this, and they don't want to wrap their heads around, you know, Sukokomon, which is very much like a hit or miss kind of team, whereas this team feels like you can just continuously hit and it'll work out. I'm pretty sure at an F2P level, if you just build all your units properly, it'll work out fine. But yeah, it's definitely something different, and I think this is the cool thing for me that Dendro enables. We definitely can get more and more teams to play with. My only regret is that we don't have like 12 or 18 Abyss floors that we can truly like test drive a team like this and then test drive another team and then do proper comparisons. It does feel like we've got so much combat and so much cool things in the game, but not enough content to actualize it. And this is like a big problem for me, because you have all of these cool things. Look at how creative people are in putting teams together, but it's just there's not enough content to burn all this creativity against. So the only thing we can do is either speedruns or just have fun, log off and play Honkai. I mean, that's really all it is. But yeah, I mean, not a bad team. Tell me what you guys think of it. Cheers.